Hello. Um, the question we're going to answer today is: does it make sense to participate in clinical trials? The key thing to remember in the case of clinical trials is the fact that clinical trials are meant to evaluate potential drugs or devices that have not been approved for the use that you're planning on using these things for. So what you're actually doing is you are testing these products. So people participate in these clinical trials for a variety of reasons. One of them is making money. Let's address, well, one of them is making money, one of them is helping science, and one of them is contributing towards something that actually affected you personally. Let's address each one of those individually. Making money. Now, there are three phases in clinical trials, as we've discussed previously. Um, the phase one studies potentially pay a little bit, and the reason they pay a little bit is because you can barely get any benefits as compared to the risks associated with that study. Um, so they pay a little bit because the risks are higher. On the other hand, phase two and phase three studies, you're actually supposed to ensure that subjects understand that they should weigh the risks and the benefits. At no point during these quote unquote studies are you being treated. You're a subject for evaluation. So people go into these studies thinking that they're going to get the best treatment. You may not get treatment at all, depending on what type of study you're in. You may actually end up getting a placebo, which means that you aren't actually getting any study drug. On the other hand, the advantage of and in phase two and phase three studies, it is important to recognize that you're being paid enough not to you're getting paid enough so that it offsets any income you would have made otherwise, that a reasonable person would have made otherwise. It's not supposed to entice you to participate. If it entices you to participate, the thought is that you aren't giving informed consent. So you have to make sure that you're only getting paid. So companies, CROs, sites have to make sure that they're only giving you enough money where it offsets the money you would have made and doesn't actually serve to make you want to participate in clinical trials and make you want to take on risks that you really shouldn't be taking on. Um, as it relates to helping science, it's definitely something that helps science. Participating in a clinical trial, depending on which type of clinical trial it is, may actually be furthering science. So that is a valid reason to participate in clinical trials. On the other hand, contributing towards something that affects you personally, of course, if it affects you personally, and you think that this is a type of study that might be useful, that might help people, that might help someone or might have helped someone who affected you personally. In those cases, you really should consider participating in a clinical trial. Um, but it is important to recognize that there are risks. You're not being treated. You are not you're not in there to get the best treatment. You are a subject. So what are the protections available to someone like you? Number one, they make sure that they get what's referred to as informed consent. So what is informed consent? Informed consent is where they being either the site doing the study, the sponsor, which is the pharmaceutical company or the medical device company or some other life sciences company, and the CRO, which is a contract research organization. That's the organization that's actually managing the study. These individuals come together, or these groups come together, and make sure that you understand the risks of participating in the study, benefits of participating in the study, and you weigh both of those and then agree to participate in the study. The other thing that's in there, the other check and balance that's in there, is what's referred to as an IRB. An IRB is an organization that is supposed to look at what the study protocol is, that looks at what what's supposed to happen during the process of the study, and then decide whether the right steps and the right protections are in place. So the IRB and the sites will be looking at you to ensure that you are not putting yourself at undue risk. There is also an organization known as a DSMB or a Data Safety Management Board, a monitoring board. That happens during the course of the study. And what they're looking at is statistically whether one side is being benefited substantially more than the other side. So if at any point during the study when the DSMB looks at the data and they feel like one side in the study is getting more benefits, substantially more benefits than the other side, they have to stop the study because they don't want to expose subjects to undue risk. So there are definitely protections built into the system. However, making sure that you have to recognize that this is still a study, you're not being treated. So as long as you believe that you are doing it for the right reasons, which is helping people, furthering science, those may be valid reasons to participate. Don't do it for the money. Don't do it because don't do it for the money. That's what most people tend to go for, and that's not the right reason to do this. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me. Take care. Bye-bye.